I got a sneak peek of About Time.
Okay.
It's a new movie. It has Rachel McAdams, and I cannot think of the guy that sort of plays against her. He's the main character, but I'd never seen him in anything before. Is it Bill Nighy? Is that
Okay. Yeah.
how you say his name? He's in it.
Yeah.
He plays the main character's father, and there are a few other people in the movie that you would recognize. The names escape me, but it's a really, really good movie, and I don't know if it. I guess I started seeing advertisements for it a couple weeks ago, so I'm assuming it's still out. Kind of got sort of released in this awkward spot where, well, I guess I saw it, so then I stopped paying attention to advertising, I suppose. But I believe it's still out, and I think everyone should really see it. And there's a couple reasons for it. The story is essentially this guy turns 21, and his father tells him that he can travel through time. It's apparently something that all the men in the family can do. And at 21, they just give the secret. And essentially what it means is that they go into a dark space, clench their fists, think about where they want to go to, and they show up there. And they can only go to points in their own life, which is really interesting. And so they can't go forward in time, so they can't, they can only go so far as much as they've lived. So present time. Although some would argue, well, if you're going back in time and then coming to the present, you're still traveling into the future. But whatever. Time travel purists don't pay attention to the gimmick, because at some point you do just sort of forget about it, which is really interesting. It's the same. It's directed by the same guy that did 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Yeah, is it Curtis?
Yeah, Curtis. Yeah,
Richard Curtis.
Yeah. So
big fan of his.
Same here. And of course, so he wrote and directed this film, and so it's really personal. And there's a couple reasons for it. It's being advertised almost like as a romantic comedy, and it is romantic and it is funny, but it's more of a dramatic piece about fathers and sons, and it doesn't really come off that way when you see any of the advertising. But what it really comes down to is a father and son growing together, and it really doesn't hit you until the very last couple minutes of the movie. It kind of sneaks up on you. And of course, as a guy, I'm kind of just like, don't cry, man. It's okay. You don't have to cry.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where
Yeah.
you're just like, whoa, I didn't, because you're so sort of kept up in the romantic part of it. This guy basically goes back in time to get a girlfriend, is what it comes down to. And there are a couple hit and misses, but then he sort of hits off with Rachel McAdams' character, and it goes from there. And there's a couple different time traveling rules that come up that I thought were kind of interesting. Have to do with having children. I thought were kind of interesting. The character does kind of learn about 3/4 of the way through the movie what it is and the reason why, and I thought that was kind of interesting. I had never really seen that rule established in a time traveling movie. But that, like I said, it doesn't really sort of require you to be like, oh yes, they're traveling back in time, and no, only this can. It's just forget about that. It's a fun, lighthearted movie, and then it kind of takes a little bit of a serious turn towards the end, and it earns it. It definitely sort of earns the respect of anyone seeing it. And with it being a sneak peek, of course, they kind of asked everyone what they thought of it a little bit afterwards, and I didn't sort of hear anybody.
Oh, so this is still in this is a preview.
It was a preview, yeah. So,
Okay.
but I want to say, since I saw the advertising for it almost a week or two after, that it has to be out right now, or it has to be at least getting ready to come out very soon. I didn't do much research on this particular one. At least maybe I did, and it's been at least 3 weeks since I saw it. But I really recommend it. So if you have an opportunity to see it, again, it's called About Time. And it's a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It's probably one of my favorite films of the year.
Wow.
I'll say.
Cool.
Just because it was just, it was different in a really enjoyable way. But it really does have something to do with, for it's, okay, basically, and I roughly wrote about it, I think, on our Twitter feed. Guys, if your lady wants to take you to see this movie, do it, because you will probably like it more than they will, and you get brownie points.
Yeah.
Don't act like you really want to go see it, though. you get away with it.
Solid relationship advice.
Exactly. I like to throw, the guys out there.
but subtly.
Yeah. I like to throw the bones out there a little bit for the guys.
Yeah.
But I liked it. Like I said, it was more than I was expecting. I was not expecting the father-son dynamic based on the advertising.
A Place for Film is recorded at WFIU Studios in Bloomington, Indiana.